And this is Glass Lab, my top-secret underground science lab. Get my lab coat on. Got to be safe. Actually, very few people have stepped into this high-security testing facility. And because some of my science experiments do go a bit wrong, even fewer people have ever stepped out again. But don't worry, you'll be totally safe in here as long as you don't do not exactly what I don't say to do. See? Can't be any clearer than that. Right, in a second, you'll be meeting two teams who'll compete in top-level scientific games to win prizes. So let's see what's in store today. Normally, I have a highly skilled team of SAS men protecting my lab. Unfortunately, their highly skilled SAS driver got lost on the way here, so they're stuck in Skegness. However, I've been lucky enough to bring in at the last minute the only person who can beat the SAS in an arm wrestle. It is Ninja Nat. Ninja Nan. Thanks for standing in, Nan. Thanks for standing in. Never mind. She might look fragile, but she is a fully trained ninja. Yeah. Lethal. Nan, if you'd like to take your place in security, I don't like to move too... Take your place in security, please, Nan. Thank you. She's deadly. Off she goes. Look at her move. Still moving. She moves so quickly, they named nanoseconds after her, you know. Still moving. Nan, are you there yet? Is she in security? Oh, there's a little booth. She's making her way there. You can't hurry her or she'll get angry. She's in the chair. She's found a seat. That's a relief. Right, let's have a look then at who's trying to get into the lab today. We can't be too careful, hence the security. So there's a bunch of people there who claim to be the yellow team. OK. Now, you've got us... don't applaud yet, because we don't know. They've got as far as the security room, but they claim to be the yellow team. You could be anybody. What are your names?
Alia, Max, Rosaline.
OK, that checks out with my security checks. It says here you have a hidden talent. All of you can sing.
La, 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 la.
Good grief. Is that singing, everybody? What do you reckon? Is that singing? Oh, they're not too sure in here yet.
Come on.
OK, oh, come on. That does it. Right, you're clear. Come on in. You are the yellow team. Come through. Max, Aaliyah and Rosaline, welcome to the studio, do please. Welcome to the laboratory. It's lovely to see you. Where are you all from?
Twickenham.
That's nice, that's nice. Anything else we should know about you all?
We're the Cheeky Monkeys.
Is that a team name you've made up?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you're not. You're the yellow team, so forget that. Thank you very much for coming in. Nice to have you in the laboratory. Right, there should be a bunch of people in there claiming to be the red team. Don't applaud yet. We don't know. They could be anybody trying to break into my top-secret underground lab. Let's make sure that they are who they say they are. Right, the red team, I have your names written down here. What are they?
Ebony, Sally, Olivia.
Crikey, you're very cheery, the red team, aren't you? Ebony, Sally and Olivia, yes, that's right. Your hidden talent here says on my security form, Olivia, you can do a one-handed cartwheel. Can you? Oh, she's going to. Whoa! OK, well, that's it. You must be the red team. Come on in, then. Sally, Ebony and Olivia, you are the red team. I believe you. Where are you all from?
We're the Atoms and we're from Northampton.
You're the what?
Atoms.
No, you're not. You're the red team. Right, it's time to move on. It's time to play round one. Teams, take your positions over there, please. Now, they do say in relationships that looks don't matter. Well, here's the proof. It's Oliver. Oliver loves nothing more than collecting fat on his travels for his FatNav system. Trouble is, not all of his fact turns out to be true, and it's up to both the teams to decide what is true or false in FatNav. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to read both teams a science fact. You then have to tell me whether that fact is true or false. OK? If it's true, Oliver will let us know by doing this. And if it's false, he'll use his horn like this. It's quite noisy, Oliver, as it turns out. Right, we're ready. We understand the rules. OK, here we go. Red team, you're going first. This is your question. You have to tell me whether this fact is true or false. An object can be thrown further if it is thrown west. Don't answer straight away. Have a little chat. You can talk amongst yourselves and have a think. Audience, do you think that's true or false? Shout out. False. Oh, hang on. Nearly everybody thinks it's false. Everybody here thinks it's false. You don't have to go with what the audience think. Think it out for yourself. OK, but the rest of us all think false. All right, then. All right, then. Well, let's find out what our team thinks. I shall put my combined mug tree and microphone back. Nobody liked it. Right, what do we think? What's your answer?
False.
You think it's false. You think an object can't be thrown further if it is thrown west. Oliver, is it true or false? It's true, which means, sorry, guys, you're wrong. It's actually because the Earth rotates towards the east. So if you stand on the equator, you can be travelling at over 1,000 miles an hour without feeling like you're moving, because the Earth rotates. Right now, where we are, we're travelling at over 600 miles an hour, and it's not even ruffling my hair. Yellow team, here comes your science fact. Tell me if this is true or false. Are you ready? When the sun rises over Uranus's north pole, so that's the planet Uranus, the north pole, it stays light there for a whole month. So when the sun rises, it's like the start of a day here at Uranus, it stays light for a whole month. Is that true or false? Have a think. Don't answer straight away. Audience, what do we think? Is that true or false? Stays light for a whole month. Quite a lot of truths, quite a lot of truths. Team, do you think it's true or false?
You've gone with true.
You've gone with true. You think it does stay light for a whole month?
Yes.
OK. All right. Oliver, is it true or false? Oh. Bad luck, Yellows. It's actually false. I can tell you the real answer. It stays light, so the sun comes up over the North Pole, and it stays light for 42 years. Yeah. If the sun was to rise there now, you'd be 50 when it got dark again, and I'd be, 55, maybe 60. Thank you, lab rats. OK, there is one last chance for you to get a point now with one last question. It's time for your third question. This one does work a bit differently, though. Oh, that sounds bad. Lab rats, please, guys. They've been experimenting all night trying to make a telephone to improve on mobile phones with a shoe, another shoe and a bit of string between it. I've told you it doesn't work and it won't work. You can't make a phone out of shoes. You can send emails with socks, but you can't phone with shoes. Go and do something useful. Go and do something useful, or it'll be back in the cage. Go, find something useful to do. Right, I'm going to ask you a question. And this time, you don't have to tell me if it's true or false. You have to write down what you think the answer might be. You've got a pad in front of you to write it on. OK? And then you'll show us the answer. You may not be exactly right, but here's the thing. The team that gets closest to the real answer will get the point. Here is your question. What was the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth? I'd like the answer in degrees Celsius, please. You're allowed to have a little bit of a think. Does anybody in the audience have any idea what it might be? Hands going up. Hang on, where's my mug tree mic? Yes? What do you think it might be?
I think it might be 58.
Right, what do you think?
I think it's around 56.
OK. Anybody think higher than that?
58.
OK. All right then, guys. OK, if you'd reveal your answers for us, please, let's have a look. Reds, you've gone with 60. Yellows, you've gone with 50. The actual answer is, and one of our audience members is very clever, it is 58 degrees Celsius. It was actually recorded at the Al Azizia weather station in Libya in 1922, so Reds, you get the point. Well done, Reds. Now, though, it's time for mini science, the round where our contestants get to test their brains and they get all sciencey with some everyday household objects. To help me is my old science teacher, Mini Miss.
Hello, Richard.
Hello. Let me just explain something. When I make one of my inventions, it's very important to write an instruction manual, because otherwise I forget how it works. Unfortunately, I forgot where I'd put the manual, so when I tried my new time machine out, I made a few little mistakes. I set the controls to bring back my old science teacher, but I didn't realise that she'd come back as a 10-year-old.
Thank you, Richard.
Sorry, but you certainly know your science, though, don't you?
Of course. I'm a professor in nuclear physics, and I've been teaching for over 40 years.
See? So what have you got for us this time, miss?
Well, today's teams are going to be playing Cup on Your Face, and all you need are these cups. The teams then have to stick as many of these cups onto their face as possible, and at the end of the course have to drop the cups into a cylinder. The teams with the most amount of cups in the cylinder at the end of the game wins.
I see, so cup on your face. I'm just thinking about the science here, miss. I reckon this is about pressure, isn't it? Because when you squeeze the cup like that, it squeezes some of the air out. Then when you put it on your face, the cup goes back to its original shape, so there's not as much air in that space as there is outside, and that means lower pressure, and that means it's stuck on your face.
Correct, Richard. Well remembered.
I was listening all those years ago. I'm going to demo the course. Here's what you do. First of all, you cross the Bridge of Destiny over the nuclear tank. Do not fall in there, it's just terrible. Down the steps, keeping to the left of this line. If the cups fall off your face at any point, don't stop, keep going and finish. Past the lab rats. Idiot. Then you get round here to the high jump. You go underneath with the cup still on your face. Over my attempt at reinventing the bicycle, then you have the stepping stones of science. Whatever route you like, you get to the finish line. If you've got any cups left stuck to your face, take them off, drop them here into the canister, then you return. Same route, really, across the bridge on the left-hand side. By now, the next team player will have got ready with your cups, ready to leave. But you don't just run away. You don't just set off when the other person gets back. You have to high-five in an annoying way. Well done. So that's it. Everybody understand? You get the rules. Many as you can do. You've got some time to do this, and that some time starts now.
So, first things first, the cups have to go on the face. It'll be interesting to see how many cups they go for. Red's going for 2, but the yellows have made a quicker start. That's because Max has only 1 cup on his face. Ooh, and a dropped cup for the reds. But in it goes, so 1 cup each at this point.
Both teams playing it safe to start with, only going for 1 or 2 cups. You can put as many as you like on, but they might all fall off.
Look, the Reds bag another one. Oh, Alia has to go back, having lost her cups on the way round. Ooh, and Rosaline has lost one. Funny thing, suction.
People often think that suction is about things being pulled, but in fact it's the opposite. Because there are fewer air molecules in the cup than there are outside, the air outside is pushing it onto your face. That's how suction works.
Ebony back for the changeover now, and look at that.
Yellow very confident with 2 there. 3 from red. Look at that, that's magnificent. Oh, well, one's gone. A brave try, though, multiple cups.
Olivia going with 3 cups as well. If she can get them round the course, that could win the Reds the whole game.
5, 4, 3, 2,
That's
1.
it, time's up. Ooh, that was close. One last one going in. Well done. OK. This is it, moment of truth. Let's have a look, see who's collected the most cups. I shall tip them out. We have for the Reds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Will you remember 7? Because I'll forget when I've counted these. 7 for the Reds. For the Yellows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I don't understand is there are 2 Reds in here. Yellow team. Yellow team. How did that happen?
She wasn't punished.
You put them in the wrong one.
Yeah, she put them in the wrong one.
Look at your jacket. What colour is it, Ebony?
Red,
What colour are they wearing?
yellow,
And what colour's this?
yellow.
I'm sorry, as a lab rat, you can't have those points. However, still, with 7 to 4, the red team wins anyway, so the point is your brother. So So if that works for cups on faces, how much suction can we get if we make the cup a bit bigger?
So just how strong is this air pressure? My faithful lab rats are going to find out. These are Magdeburg pressure spheres. Yeah, I don't know what they are either. But Phil Collins does. No, he's not the 1980s pop star your dad makes you listen to in the car.
Hi, I'm Phil Collins, the vacuum expert.
Now, of course you are. This Phil Collins knows all about air pressure. To see how they work, we first need to join them together and suck all the air out. One of the lab rats gives it a go, but as usual, it's a rubbish effort. Thankfully, Phil Collins has brought a vacuum pump. By sucking the air out of the sphere, the air pressure inside the sphere is lowered, allowing the air pressure on the outside to push with its full force. That's the weight of 5 gorillas. Let's see if our weedy lab rats can pull them apart. Oh dear, just look at these two. They said they were the best lab rats for the job, but as I thought, pathetic. Time for some proper muscle, like this international bodybuilder called Tina. One strong woman and 2 lab rats. This should be as easy as opening a bag of crisps. Obviously a very stubborn bag of crisps. Come on, Phil, be a gent. Give the lady a hand. At last. But Phil Collins has one more sphere up his sleeve, and it's a biggie. A bigger sphere should take even more grunt to pull apart. Phil Collins has stumped the lab rats and strong woman Tina this time. Well, they can barely lift it off the ground, let alone pull it apart. We need something with more power, more grip, and an engine. We've got 2 Land Rovers to settle this one once and for all.
Let's hold the film there, because Red Team, I want to ask you, for an extra point, do you reckon the cars can do it?
Yeah.
Think they can? OK. Yellows, do you reckon the cars can do it? Can they pull the spheres apart, held together by a vacuum, all the air taken out, sucked together?
Well, basically, they could, like, reversing and then go really fast.
So, do you think they might do it?
Yeah.
I don't think so much, though.
Right, so you better decide as a team. While you're deciding as a team, come up with one answer. I'm going to ask the audience with my amazing mug tree microphone. What do you reckon, guys? You reckon they can do it?
I think that they can do it.
You think they can?
I think they can. I think they can't.
You think they can't? Remember, they're not glued together, these spheres. They're only held together by suction.
I still think they can't do it.
OK. Right, I'm going to find out now. Yellow team, make your minds up. You think they can or they can't?
Can.
Can. So both teams think they can pull them apart. Well, let's have a look for an extra point each.
So, let's get this straight. With the air removed, the sphere is being pushed together with the force of over 5 gorillas. And we're trying to pull it apart with 2 Land Rovers. Who will win this tug-of-war tussle, gorilla or Land Rover? We've added a pressure gauge to keep an eye on how much force the Land Rovers are pulling with. Well, come on, boys, floor it! That's unbelievable. It's just the pressure of air holding that sphere together. Surely it's got to give in at some point. Even the gauge has given up. Hey, there she goes. It's taken 2 Land Rovers at full power to pull the sphere apart. That's how strong air pressure is. OK, you can stop now, fellas.
OK, well, they did it. That means there's 1 point each for both teams. Round of applause for both yellows and reds. Well done. So that means, red team, you're ahead with 3 points. Yellow, you have 1. Both teams, it's now time for you to go and get changed into your protective suits for the messy, messy mess test. So away you go. You're going to need them. It is essential for scientists to keep a level head. Now, I don't know about you, but watching that film, I thought those 2 lab rats were having too much fun driving those cars. So to keep their feet on the ground, I've asked them to sort out Ninja Nan's feet. So they're doing that now in the security room. There you go. Good luck, guys. Probably a shame you didn't have the protective suits on, actually, but get on with it. Yeah, I know it's nasty, but it's good for them. They have to learn. Now we must move on to our final game. Today's Messy Messy Mess test is in the nuclear box. Which is why you guys all needed the protective outfits on, OK? Just be very careful in there. It's horrible. Actually, interesting story. A whole family of diseased pigeons flew into this yesterday and decided to make it their home. They may have all gone, I don't know. No, look, they've grown gills. It's a very... Don't stroke anything there. Everything's got teeth. Right, this is the game. Each of these pods contains fabulous prizes, like a solar-powered spider, an MP3 player, kitchen chemistry set. The idea is to move these prize pods from this end of the nuclear box to the other end. And obviously, you can't use your hands to do that because it'd melt off. It'd be horrible, which is why you've got these tongs to use instead. Very nicely demonstrated, thank you. The team to move the most prize pods right to the other end and then put them in the basket here wins and gets to take them home. The losing team blows them up. That's what happens, OK? You don't take them home, you blow them all up. Red team, you are going to start first because you have the most points right now, which means they get you a 5-second advantage. Yellow team, you start second. So, when you hear the first nuclear alert, red team, you start. When you hear the second, yellow, you start. Does everybody understand? No using your hands, because they'll melt, only using these. Right, you have some time to get as many prize pods as you can from this end to the other end of the nuclear box, and that time starts for the red team now.
Away we go with the Reds. And it's Ebony who has to pluck a prize pod out of the awful toxic gunge.
Scientifically, what's difficult here is, well, it's friction. You just can't get any grip on the prize pods and they fall out. They're struggling.
The Reds have got a pod to the second changeover. This is the crucial point. And yes, they've done it.
Well done, Reds. Well done, Reds. 1.
The Yellows, on the other hand, are still on the first tricky handover.
Yellow have got a great technique going here, carefully passing it vertically from one to another.
And that technique pays off. Bosh! 1 for the Yellows. Oh, but hang on. Back come the Reds for their second pod in the basket. Oh, the Yellows drop one at the first changeover. That pod is now out of play. The Reds, however, are taking care of business in their side of the tank. And wallop! 3 in the prize basket for them. And, oh, another prize pod slips away for the Yellows. Meanwhile, Reds are looking good. Oh, dear. The teams are going to have to be quick because sometimes, sometime is over quicker than you think, but only sometimes.
5, 4,
Time is coming
3,
to an end.
2, 1.
That's it. Time is up. Time is up. Well done, both teams. Now we'll find out who's won. Obviously, I can't possibly handle these prize pods because my hands would melt, so I've used lab rats because they're cheap and disposable. Yellow team have got how many? 1. Look at his little paw in his little washing-up glove. Red team have got how many? 3. OK, well, that means red team are the winners. Well done. Now we're going to find out exactly what the red team have won, and to do that, I need my specially trained ninja assistant here, Ninja Nan. Hello, Nan. She's got a wheelbarrow full of prizes. Nan, I'd like you to model the prizes for me as we find out what they've won. So, if you could open the pods for me, please, Lab Rat. What have they got? Hold them up. Let's have a look. Each of you wins an MP3 player. That's one of those each. You've also got a test tube seahorse and a flip-out surprise egg. Well done, red team. Those are your prizes. Well done. Now, the slightly painful bit, yellow team, is where we find out what you would have won. You would each have got a test tube seahorse. instead of taking that home with you, you're going to blow it up because it's time for B-Day Goes Bang. Well, this is it, yellow team. How are you feeling?
Sad.
Well, you know, never mind. You had fun playing the game. Who's pressing the plunger?
All of us.
Oh, look at that. Teamwork. That's lovely. What do you think went wrong in the game? Why didn't you win at the end?
Well, I think I can pick up the pods at the beginning.
Yeah?
I was trying to work out how to pick them up.
Are you taking the blame?
Yeah.
Wow, that's noble, you see. That's teamwork right there from the yellow team. Red team, you're all feeling fine, aren't you? Yeah. Loaded down with prizes that you're taking home. And we're about to watch the yellow team blow theirs up. OK, well, I spent a lot of my time here in my blast lab trying to work out the best way to blow things up. I tried blowing them up in a bathtub, in a toilet, in a shower, tried everything but the kitchen sink. Ninja Nan was using it at the time. I didn't want to get into a fight. But it turns out the best way to obliterate something is in a B-Day. It's over there, so your prizes are already in and ready to go bang. So I think this is it. We can't put it off any longer. Step forwards and lift the plunger, please, yellow team, all together. Do not put it down yet, because we'll do the countdown. Are we ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, yellow team, bad luck. Well done, red team, though. Time to bring today's show to an end. So today we played tug of war with Land Rovers. We've had lots of fun sticking cups on our faces, all because of air pressure, which shouldn't be confused, by the way, with when people keep telling me to change my haircut. That's called hair pressure. See you soon. Well done.
Blast Lab was recorded before a live studio audience. No lab rat was harmed during the filming. Although some of them are still missing.
Oh, get out of the place you are in right now, Jeff.
Straight up, Dan.
Someone actually scales a building using a vacuum cleaner.
Yep, and it all happens on Bang Goes the Theory, Monday, 7:30 on BBC One.
Oh, I'll be watching, Jeff.
Me too.
It's great to skate. But who will be the greatest? 14 teams are fighting for the chance to take the skating world by storm. They'll need to impress the judges.
I can't wait for the rest of the series.
And the audience.
Does the voice impress you?
Find out who's the greatest skater in Skate Nation.
Today at 9, CBBC on BBC Two.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for making us look good. Yeah. No, cheers. Cheers.
Diddy Dick Dom on CBBC.
on TV. They want us to appear at their award party. Oh, award party! Oh, I can see it now. It's so exciting. The big wigs, the big crowd, the big stage. We better get some practice in. Good idea. Strike up the band.
We're Diddy Dick Dom, welcome to our cupboard. We've lived here all our lives and never been discovered. We might be really small, but we've both got big hearts. It's all right in here so long as no one. There's no room to swing a cat, barely room to hang your hat. But there's no need to push and shove, 'cause we got cupboard love. Cupboard love, cupboard love. It ain't no palace, but it fits like a glove. There's no need to push and shove, 'cause we got it covered like old Mother Hubbard. Yeah, we got cupboard love.
Oh, Larry, I can't wait. The glitterazzi, the paparazzi, the spaghetti bolognese after the show. Oh, let's see the invitation. Okay, there it is. Look at it. That's not an invitation for MTV. That's a fat kid. Oh yeah.
Go Diddy Dick and Dom on CBBC.
We're taking over!
You're taking over!
Yeah, we've hacked into your TV! This is the show where anything can happen.
A banana just landed on my head! And I'm not happy about it!
Doodle-doo!
Faster!
Shock show, eh?
Oh, Dolly, wow, wow, wow!
Now, I don't know about you, but I think this is fantastic Saturday morning entertainment.
Transmission Impossible with Edit Out Show. Today at 10, CBBC on BBC 2. Last time